The definition of happiness can be elusive, but not since 1972. A national survey has asked Americans what they think and feel on certain topics, including their mental well-being. The answers give politicians and scholars clear ideas on the country's mindset. Some of the more revealing findings are based on happiness and money. In 2010, on the heels of the Great Recession, 28.8% of Americans said they were, quote, very happy. It was a record low. In 2014, that number rose to nearly 33%. So did the economy's upturn have an impact? To answer that question, we're joined by Jay Richards, assistant professor in the School of Business and Economics at the Catholic University of America. You also know him as, of course, host of A Force for Good on EWTN. Jay, welcome back. Is there a connection between our finances and happiness?
There is. I mean, it's not as simple as money can buy happiness, but if you look at happiness surveys, it's sort of common sense. If you're really poor and don't know where your next meal is coming from or how you're going to pay the rent, you're going to be miserable. It really is that simple. And so essentially income and happiness correlate in these surveys up until about upper middle class. So in other words, once you get to a certain threshold, say family income on average about $75,000 a year, more money adds almost no additional happiness. So really what you want to think of is people that are really, really poor tend to be unhappy on average, but being really wealthy doesn't really add very much to your happiness either.
So as Catholics then, it kind of seems like balance here is the key, right? I mean, balancing between money and then true happiness, which we know is not material. So how do we view that?
Absolutely. I mean, think of it as just the fact that we are these amazing hybrids of the spiritual and the material. We're not angels, but we're not beasts. And so we need to eat, we need to sleep, we need to drink. So those things matter. On the other hand, that's not full happiness. It's not the exercise of virtue that gives us the kind of eternal happiness we're looking for. So if you're already middle class at Christmas, what you really can do if you're wanting to be happy rather than depressed at Christmas, be a gift giver. Don't think about yourself, think about others. Because what we know is that after about upper middle class, the people who give away their money in charity are actually more happy than everyone else.
Christmas, of course, as you know, is right around the corner. Everybody tends at this point to get caught up in consumerism, and that seems to be on the mindset. So then how do we sort of balance the healthy economy then and buying those gifts, like you said, giving to others, and at the same time sort of not giving into unbridled capitalism?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, what I would say is enjoy all of these things. Enjoy the fact that Christianity has so impacted the culture in the West that even Christ's Mass is now a public and essentially a secular holiday. It's a federal holiday. Be glad for that. Be glad to participate in it, but be very careful about consumerism. If you're thinking about yourself and what you're going to get, you're more likely to be miserable rather than happy.
Such an important message and important to be focused on others. How important is that? Jay Richards, host of EWTN's Force for Good and professor at the Catholic University of America. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Wyatt.